What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number one stop destination for anything and everything animation, including SpongeBob and a pineapple under the sea. Welcome back to SpongeBob Month 4, and welcome to Driven to Tears. In this episode, Patrick ends up getting his driver's license and rubbing it in SpongeBob's face. But SpongeBob still tries to be supportive for his friend, but his jealousy starts to overtake him, and yeah, it just goes all kinds of wild from there. This is an episode that a lot of people really hate because they think that Patrick goes way too far. And yes, he does, but it brings it around in the ending. So it's not like he doesn't get punished for his actions. Like, this is a decent, solid episode. Like, I enjoy it, and not only that, the catalyst to actually make Patrick the way he is in this episode is understandable. Like, it's very understandable, and it's somewhat relatable too, to an extent. And there are some pretty good moments in this episode. The first one, and my highlights as we go into them, is the drive-thru, which later becomes its own episode, and done even better there if you ask me. Like, I really like the drive-thru concept of the Krusty Krab, and while it's only there for a bit, it's still pretty cool. And then the episode that it gets later on is really, really good. I love the drive-thru episode. It's one of my favorites. Not of this season, but of season, I think it was 6? It was either 6 or 7. It was sometime in the dark era of SpongeBob. So yeah, that's how it number 1, the drive-thru. Pretty cool little thing there. And then the second highlight is going to be the ending. Because the ending is really, really sweet. Like, after Patrick goes to jail for littering, because the Bikini Bottom police suck at their job and don't get him for speeding or outrunning the cops either, SpongeBob decides to go to prison in his place. So he goes to prison, and then it picks up a little while later, and SpongeBob's freed after 90 days. And the two of them hug, and it turns out that Patrick threw away the boatmobile because it stopped working. I assume it's because he didn't know how to fill up a gas tank. Whatever. So SpongeBob puts the handmade license plate he made for his car, that now no longer exists, on his rear end and pretends to ride him like a car. And it's just a sweet little, bromance moment. That's the way to put it. Yeah, bromance. Sweet little bromance moment. Overall, though, this episode can still get on some people's nerves, and I can understand why most don't like it, but me personally, it's a solid 6 out of 10. It's a decent, one-and-done episode, and better than a lot of people give it credit for. Okay, now let's move on to Rule of Dumb. Yeah, I like this episode. In this episode, it turns out that Patrick is supposed to be a descendant of a long-lost bloodline, and thus he becomes the king. And he does exactly what you would expect someone that doesn't know how to be king does. Abuses his power, and takes things from people. And all kinds of craziness ensues when Squidward gets involved. And that just goes on and on from there. This is pretty much the same episode as Driven to Tears, but it's done a little bit better. Because instead of an outside force reining in Patrick's actions, this time Patrick himself realizes what he's done wrong and tries to make amends. Like, seriously, that really deserves a lot of credit. And I'll talk more about that moment later because it is a highlight. But this episode also has some cool, funny jokes, and I do like how he rips off Mr. Krabs by saying, "I'm a king. Kings don't pay for anything." Like, it's funny. And then SpongeBob being his royal advisor and holding up this treaty every single time that someone tries to tell Patrick no is hilarious. And there are some cool designs in the episode. Like, I love how elaborate his royal rock becomes. Like, with this indoor swimming pool and the fine china and stuff like that. It's so really cool, and it's really interesting. And there are 2 highlights in this episode, even though I could have picked more, because there are some pretty great moments. Honorable mention to the part with Squidward. That one legit made me laugh. So, what are my highlights for the episode? Well, highlight number 1, and what was it? Wait, did I only put one highlight? Oh yeah, no. Both my highlights come from the ending. The first highlight is when Patrick realizes what he is, looks in the mirror, and sees that he's become a monster, so he runs out frightened, gives the guy back his crown, and says that he doesn't want it anymore. You know what? Good on Patrick for realizing he went too far. Like, credit where it's due. And then we get to the second highlight of the episode, which is the very ending, where it turns out there's a plot twist. It turned out that Gary was the one that was supposed to be king this whole time. Like, I legit did not see that twist coming, and it was funny. Like, out of all the people that could have ended up being the real king, it was Gary. Yeah, this episode's a 7 out of 10. This episode's solid. This episode's really good, really enjoyable. And while it's not a highlight of the season, I really enjoy it. Well, that's going to do it for today's videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yes, I know you're only getting 1 today, and I'm sorry, but 1, I need some time to recharge before I go bananas, and 2, I still cannot see elementals, so even if I wanted to do a second video today, I really couldn't. Because the next Aquatic Neptune reaction isn't scheduled till tomorrow, so this is the only video you're getting today, not including the intro where we revealed the brand new logo, which I want to get your thoughts on that down below in the comments if you would, please. And, yeah. I'll see you whenever I see you. Until then, have a great day, stay spongy, and take care.